our live poll. So it's 11. Let's wait for some more moments and then we can start, right?
Thank you and welcoming all who are watching us live stream at our social media handles also, and welcoming all the Zoom participants also who have joined us directly to interact and learn about this topic on digital services to engage your doctors. What key considerations should be there while you are creating your 2023-24 brand plans, the next year brand plans? I hope I'm audible, and in case you are facing any issues, kindly connect back or try changing your earphones. So let us start. Right, Dr. Satish?
Yeah, sure. Let us start.
So welcoming you all. We know that you all, the pharma marketing teams are in that phase, that time when they are creating their brand plans for the next year and are searching for what ideas to be incorporated into their plans, what all services can be utilized for the awareness part of your doctors, and what can be done in this domain. And as a platform, when we talk about, even we discuss about problems, it's our responsibility to bring the solutions also to you, and the solutions should be understood in a way that you can understand the proposition and incorporate them into your brand plans. And that is why you will see a host of sessions coming up in the next few weeks on each Sunday, talking about what all you can do for your customers like HCPs, and what awareness you can create through your brand plans for the next year. Today we have with us the CEO of MyRx, Saurav Das. He has been taking up the DTIP series also for you, and the next session will be a DTIP session on next Sunday. But at this time, on this Sunday, we thought of bringing you a session which talks about the right mindset, what you have to set for the next year in your brand plans. So welcome, Saurav.
Hello. Thank you, Swati. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, so I'm handing the session over to you, Saurav. Let us see and understand what doctors are looking forward to for their engagement, to increase the engagement, and what pharma can do there to increase the awareness part, or even to get the time from doctors. The pharma talks about this problem that doctors are not giving them time. It's always about the pill, but what is beyond the pill? So few services you can talk with your doctors, make them aware about those services, and that is where we are placing this session on. Sort of over to you to take us through this mindset creation for pharma brand managers in this space.
Thank you, Swati. So good morning, everyone. As Swati rightly said, that this is a time when pharma companies look beyond this year's and the future years, and but how to engage with the doctors. So this has been a big question mark every single year, that what are the plans, what are the budgets, what are the campaigns that we are going to design and develop for our brands, so that we can at least engage and market ourselves in front of the customers. Due to heavy regulations and just a moment. So due to regulations by government, due to lot of regulatory policies and decision making by the governments, it's getting difficult day by day for pharma marketeers to go ahead and engage with the doctors. We all believe that the traditional CRM marketing, which was happening in pharma, is no longer a option or a choice at this point of time, and digital is always rising. So since last four and a half years, we have been seeing a lot of companies trying to implement digital as their strategy in the brand plan. But only thing is like whether that is doable, whether that is not doable, what to do, which product to choose, what doctors want. These are the different questions which appears in the mind, and these are the constant discussion topics within PMT team, a brand management team of a pharma company. So today's session, what we are trying to do is like we will jot down some points. We will try to showcase you how the country is moving, how the government policies are moving, what is the National Digital Health Mission, and apart from that, what are the demands or what are the needs of the doctor at this point of time, and what pharma companies can do to engage and collaborate with their customers. So right now, I will just share my screen and start a presentation. So, Dr. Swati, please let me know if screen is visible.
Yes, sir. And for the benefit of audience, after the presentation, after what Saurav has to say about this, we will have a one-to-one session also, one-to-one discussion session. You can interact with Saurav also and ask questions.
And as and when we move forward, if you have any queries, just put it on the chat box in back. Okay, so the topic is digital engagement with your SCPs and key considerations for your 2023 and 2024 brand plans. This session is brought to you by MyRx and PharmaState collaboratively. So we have been into the market since last 6 years, and we have been seeing, the changes, the mindset shift. And as a company, MyRx, we have been predominantly working with the doctors till now. So day in, day out with the doctors, this is actually a summary of what all are the different demands or what all are the different touch points wherein pharma companies can intervene and help a doctor going digital. So this can be designed as a campaign, but yeah, before that, let us go ahead with the adoptions of EHR market. EHR is electronic health record. Electronic health record is a digital record, in fact, of the patient, the hospital, the clinic, and along with the management softwares. EHR started in like 2004-5, and in fact, the EHR market has been largely penetrated by North America market, wherein the adoption is more than 95%. Australia and New Zealand markets are 100% compliant to EHR. Each and every doctor practicing in Australia and New Zealand are at least using electronic health record or electronic medical record application. Apart from that, Europe has and UK has seen a significant amount, but since last 4 years, in fact, 2018 to 2023, APAC has been the growing market and the fastest growing market for the electronic health record adoptions. In 2017, the market size was somewhat around $22 billion by market capitalizations, and along with that, 2023, the market size is supposed to be $30 billion, equivalent to the Indian pharma industry at this point of time. So the digital is rising at this point of time, and along with that, the application uses, the software uses are also rising. So India penetrations we will be seeing in the other side, but the market growth at this point of time is 5.4% per annum, and by 2030 we are supposed to touch minimum of $90 billion in the electronic, digital, and health record market. So this is one particular thing wherein the adoption in India is very less at this point of time, but there are several factors wherein the doctors are looking forward to use of electronic health record or electronic medical records applications in the coming days. Some of the trends actually we will be trying to focus on here, like what helped the doctor digitize actually. The COVID-19 has pushed doctors to digitize. In fact, the innovations and the technology around AI will like doctor will see more and more of IoT and AI uses in the coming days. Moreover, we have already implemented 5G network at this point, and 5G network will increase the penetration and usability of these applications to the remotest area, in fact, and patients will heavily depend upon the internet for their health records, and along with that, the health related informations. So 5G penetration will be a breakthrough actually for implementing digital strategies to the remote locations also. Apart from that, we have seen a very good increase in the wearable devices made with the Apple Watch, made with the Android watches and health watches. So these all devices coming together will be boosting the patient health engagement. New technologies like blockchain will ensure the data security part, because health record and health data are something which is very precious, in fact. And this type of data security can be addressed with the new technologies like blockchains. Apart from that, many of the doctors, hospitals, the governments, the healthcare provider is completely focusing on the standardization of the healthcare. So when we are talking about standardization, it is something like whether you are sitting in any locations or remote location, or maybe you are sitting in the urban location, the quality of the healthcare, the SOPs of the healthcare are getting standardized. So this type of application uses will help the doctors, the practitioners to go ahead and standardize their practice. Let us understand like how government is actually planning to implement the health records, and along with that, digitize the healthcare practitioners. There are two authorities, in fact, National Health Authority, which is NHA, and under National Health Authority, that is NDHM. So again, I will be talking about NDHM, which is National Digital Health Mission. They have a complete guidelines, they have a draft actually, and this NDHM, they are creating health IDs. There are many aspects of it, but there has been focus on the digital copies. In fact, this is a snapshot of the guidelines provided by NDHM regarding the health data. So healthcare providers, instead of a physical copy, like which include diagnostic report, discharge summaries, and the prescription or the clinical notes, the mission is requiring the healthcare provider to share a digital copy, and this will be mandated shortly, in fact. Apart from that, Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, ABDM, is there. So we will also be looking into the ABDM proposals in the coming slides. So multiple pages, multiple paragraphs, they have already said that the health IDs, the prescriptions, e-prescriptions, and along with that, this preparation and implementation of the change management and the strategy to ensure doctor e-signs and generate e-prescriptions. So nowadays, like the entire business of pharma is a prescription business, in fact. And imagine a scenario when all the doctors, if at all we are going ahead with a 50 to 70% adoption of digital records, and the doctors are able to generate e-prescriptions, the standardization will definitely happen, and the prescriptions will be generated, which is a key parameter and a key considerations for pharma companies, in fact. And NDHM, ABDM, both of them are focusing on the digitization of the platform. These are the core services wherein the health claim platform, the telemedicine, e-pharmacy, anonymizers as a service, and health analytics. These are the 5 different core services which are which the government is working upon, and the implementation has started from the union territories, and now they have taken it to the government colleges and the medical colleges, and slowly and steadily they will be actually transferring this to the private practitioners and the private medical and the hospitals, in fact. So when you talk about the ABDM, Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission ecosystem, you can see this beautiful chart. This is not prepared by us. This is actually the ABDM chart, which is prepared by the government. So there are different stakeholders, in fact, providers, allied private entities, healthcare professionals, third sector, administrator, policymakers. But the core and the center of the core, which we have been continuously talking about, patient-centric, patient-centric, the ABDM ecosystem keep the patient in the center also, the citizens in the centers. And along with that, the providers like hospital and clinics, labs, and pharmacy, allied private entities, which is like insurer, health tech companies. Here, the private entities, you can also assume like pharma companies can also look into this space. Apart from that, the healthcare professional, which is like modern medicine doctors and Ayush doctors, in fact, which comprises of almost 22 lakhs doctors in India. Other practitioners, which can happen like yoga, Unani, Siddhi practitioners, and dietitians. So these all people will be coming over here in the other practitioners. The third sectors, which will be like the development partners, or maybe the associations, medical associations, and the NGOs. Administrators are the program managers and the regulators. Policymakers are the state government and central government. So this is the entire ecosystem wherein like the citizens will be benefited towards a whole new mission, which is ABDM, Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. And the different stakeholders will be playing a vital role in implementing these core services through digital capabilities in the ecosystem. Apart from that, we have also seen the NMC draft guidelines, wherein NMC is also focusing on maintaining a digital trial and a documentation of the consultations, each and every consultation which is happening, either it is a digital or is a in-clinic practice, in-clinic consultations. NMC has also focused on creating, scan copies or the digital copies of e-prescription and the patient data, and storing it at least for a period of 5 years. So these documents are already in the public domain. You can have a look and you can search for the NMP draft guidelines for ethics and conducts of RMPs, and you will be getting the details about how NMC is aligned towards the NDHM, National Digital Health Mission, and Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, in fact. So considering all these steps, which government is taking, so in fact, each and every policies which is coming up, it is something like distribution is also important. So penetration is also important. So it is not only the responsibility of the government or the medical associations, but companies, health tech companies like MyRx, or maybe the pharma companies can also be a pivot, also be integrated into the system, wherein they can at least pass on this knowledge, identify the knowledge gap, and also help their RMPs, the registered medical practitioners, or the doctors to go digital and adopt all this type of technology. And yes, creating a meaningful engagement with the doctors. So to identify the top challenges, these are the identification wherein we have talked to more than 3,000 doctors actually in India, and we have been continuously providing them a lot of digital services. So once you start providing the services, the demands get, the wishes get increased. So this is actually what we have tried to jot down as a whole in like what is required by the doctors. The top 3 problems at this point of time for doctors practicing in India is adoption of digital technologies. This is one part, like how to do, what to do, which tools to use, how can I maintain a brand? So all this type of things, all this type of questions are coming up for the doctors, in fact. The second problem is generating digital prescriptions and its management. So we are not generating much prescription at this point of time. So generating of digital prescriptions, managing the prescriptions, keeping the health records, and that is the second challenge. And the third problem is like patients are getting digitally savvy at this point of time. How to engage with those digital patients and how to drive the digital patient engagement. These are the 3 major criteria for the doctors at this point of time. And this next slide, I'll just take it out. So this is the maturity curve, the bell curve, in fact. So if you understand the digital, transformations or digital adoptions, so it is something like the first stage, the 16% will be like innovator and early adapters. In fact, we are only having 4.2% adoptions of EMR in India, with comparison to 95 and 97, 100% for US, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, and UK. So 4.2% out of 22 lakhs practitioners, which consist of modern medicines as well as Ayush. So it gives us a 96%, approximately 96% scope, and entire ecosystem is actually in the nascent stage at this point of time, wherein like there are actually some innovators who are using the application, some early adapters who are just emerging at this point of time. And this trend will happen for the early majority till 2026. So if you start from 2023 onwards, you will be having at least 3 to 4 years of time wherein you can educate, you can aware your doctors, and the practices can get streamlined with the due course of time. The late majority part, which will be till 2029. So by 2029, 2030, we will be at least anticipating 88% of adoptions in Indian ecosystem. And then there will be laggards, in fact, those who will never be practicing, and along with that, those will be fearing out of digital. So there will be some percentage. So we are not expecting 100% penetration of EMR into India. Now coming to the vital part, how pharma companies can drive this adoption. So how pharma companies can design their campaign so that at least they are helping in the awareness, in the educations, as well as implementation of the digital. And this is something like digital has always been pivotal for customers. And we have always heard a term that digital is driven by the customers, in fact. So when you're talking about your customers, and your responsibility is not only selling your medicines and generating prescription, if you are talking with their pain areas, like whatever the pain areas of the doctors at this point of time, if you are talking and if your campaigns are designed in such a way that it is helping the doctors going or adapting digital, the engagement driving will be definitely higher. We have been doing this since last 2 years with a lot of pharma companies at this point of time, and we have been seeing significant result from the campaigns. In fact, that results we can share it on demand, in fact. So first and foremost thing, what doctor want is a digital brand building which we can say, like, as we require our brand building of the pharma products, the doctor also require a digital brand. For that, website, Google My Business, hyperlocal listing and public relations, search engine optimization, social media management. These are the different ways to help doctors, in fact, going digital. So website, Google My Business, hyperlocal listing, that local listing, some PR, along with that, the search engine optimization, which we already have a session earlier in D tips, and social media management. These are the aspects of brand building. When it comes to the practice management or the EMR part, so appointment management is something which a doctor definitely needed at this point of time. Patient management, wherein entire patient data keeping, and along with that, the communication and engagement with the patients will be managed. The clinic management, the hospital management. So these are the applications or the modules which are required by a small clinic, polyclinic, daycare center, and the hospitals to manage their patients. Apart from that, EMR and the patient history. So managing the patient history and having an EMR applications uh, is one other requirement from the doctors. And practice analytics, in fact, analyzing the practice, how to improve, where to improve. There are a lot of AI applications which are coming, which are suggesting to doctors, in fact, for increasing their practice. So these are under the subtopic of practice management. So these are different points. In fact, each and every point, single point, can be a campaign for pharma. And you can choose to go ahead with a theme-based, with a brand-based services, and you can have contents and campaigns created around that particular points. The third thing is like marketing. When it comes to the marketing, it can be SMS, email, WhatsApp marketing, social media marketing, or else the hyper local marketing also. So these are the 5 different type of marketings which a doctor is demanding at this point of time. And sooner or later, they all will be going ahead with this marketing channel to grab more and more patients, in fact, and provide the services to the patients. The fourth thing is prescription. Prescription is definitely a very vital thing because it is the core of the healthcare system. Either it is a doctor, or a patient, or a pharma company, or maybe a diagnostic center. The relationship or the business is flowing through the prescription, in fact. So prescription being the core of the ecosystem at this point of time. So quick prescription generations, prescription marketing, prescription analysis, the prescription auditing, whether it is genuine or not, and the prescription compliances by the patients. These are the different other aspects where the doctor needs support from digital, and where the doctors are actually wanting to, penetrate. Then comes the online reputation part. So when it is the online reputation, it is something like putting up articles or the blogs, managing the reviews and the ratings in Google, in other platforms. This is a big area and a big challenge. In fact, managing the reviews and the patient testimonials is another part. Then the content creation part. So doctor being so busy at this point of time, and then depending upon some local vendors for content creations, which lacks the content strategy, in fact, and the consistency. So this is a pain area for the doctors. Every doctor want to create content, but the social media content, so the patient education content, but they are unable to create it, depending of, like, maybe the time will be the constraint, or maybe a budget will be a constraint. So being a pharma company, if you are going ahead with a specific therapy area, if you are creating customized content for the doctors, which can be shared by the doctor to the patients, so this will be a big help actually, and yet it will be giving you a significant increase in your engagements. Then the referrals and the rewards part, like if somebody is referring the doctors, if he is rewarding something. So these are the different 5 aspects of online reputation. And then comes the patient engagement, which is very vital because recurring patient visit and referrals of the doctors will happen through the patient engagement. Nowadays, patients are demanding a lot and a lot of things from the doctors. May it be a frequently asked questions, may it be a specialized care, or may it be some, because many people are searching for the contents online, and they are actually countering the doctors, in fact, and doctors are getting really busy day by day answering this type of redundant questions, and fighting the misconceptions impact. So how it can be addressed, like with the health tips and the newsletters, maybe a doctor releasing his health tips and a newsletter on a periodic basis, which can be a monthly or a fortnightly basis. Second thing is like patient education and awareness, which we have been talking since decades, in fact, how to educate the patient, how to aware the patients. So this type of patient education campaigns, patient awareness campaigns can be driven with the help of the doctors or a group of doctors, in fact, patient history and the files, so that at least the patient is not carrying anything in the physical, not at least bothering about safe custody or keeping the documents safely. The medicine compliance is so when there is a critical illness or maybe a chronic care segment, so medicine compliance is compliance and adherence is also a pain area. So this medicine compliances and adherence can be managed through applications or maybe a WhatsApp notification. Also, there are many multiple ways to address some challenges, but yeah, medicine compliance and adherence is one pain area where pharma companies can also help it out, because this is also driving the pharma businesses as a whole. Apart from that, the vital monitoring and the proactive follow-ups. So it is something like at this point of time, everything in the healthcare system of India we are talking about preventive, but actually it is a reactive way. So whenever we fall ill, we go to a doctor, we feel better, we forget the doctors, in fact. So this is what it is happening at this point of time. So there is no proactive interventions by the doctors with the patients. In coming days, with the help of this smartphones and 5G and with wearable devices, so your vitals can be continuously synced and shown to the doctors in case of a red alert or a vital or a symptoms showing irregular results. Instead of patient calling the doctors can definitely go back to the patient, sending a news notifications or maybe a call and stating that your vitals are not looking fine. So this type of engagements can be doable with the help of digital applications. And this type of engagement will definitely drive the confidence between the patients and the doctors. Then comes the analytics and the reporting part. Sorry, 1 minute. So when it comes to the patient health analysis or the practice analysis of a doctor, so it is there are 5 different buckets or the categories, in fact, wherein the patient wherein the doctors can be provided with BI, with reportings, with analysis. One of them is the patient health analysis. So a detailed comparison of the prescription, a detailed journey of the prescriptions, like a patient journey. This can be managed through patient health analysis. The brand and online performance analysis, like how am I, as a doctor, how am I performing online? There are different tools and different reports which can be generated. We can also think of creating a campaign wherein we can at least go ahead with a particular set of doctors and say that, doctor, this is your online and brand presence analysis report of October 2022. So October 2022, there has been this many of calls or this many of patient visits. So there are applications which will be providing you with this data, and you can also share this data with your doctors so that at least you get motivated towards using the digital and adapting digital, in fact. The third thing is like the prescription analysis, wherein the prescriptions written by the doctors can be analyzed, and it can be compared. It can give some quantifiable informations about the writing behavior, practice behavior, patient health to the doctor itself. Then the fourth is the practice analysis part, wherein like a lot of other applications of the reportings can be used to generate the practice analysis of the doctor itself. Then there is something called the report generation and keeping the backups. In fact, if you are keeping the patient file and how to store it, how to retrieve it, how to generate the reports, in fact, these all things will be coming into the analytics and the reporting aspect. Then coming to the administrations, this is required for small clinics and big hospitals also. So master data management, your master leads management, your actually the patient data management. So this will be something like a master data management. So these are some vital ways like how a doctor will be keeping the data, in fact. The staff and associate management, any kind of franchising which is like multimodal ways, wherein like a single brand is in multi-cities and managing the franchisees. So franchisee management will be some applications will be required to manage it in a effective way. The roles and the privilege management, which will be like who will be accessing what part of the applications, and what data will be visible to the doctors. These are the different ways of going ahead. And apart from that, there is something called as the accounting, billing, and the contract management. So accounting, billing, and the contract management will be one part of administrations. Then definitely we have seen teleconsultations. So teleconsultation, it is something like appointment booking, the payment collections, the consulting scheduling part, the video and audio conferencing. So these are the different aspects of teleconsultations. And apart from that, the prescription generation and the sharing of the prescriptions, in fact. So these are the different touch points on teleconsultations. Okay. So I have mentioned clearly that what are the different aspects, wherein pharma can think of going ahead and helping their key opinion leaders, their customers. In fact, the end motive is like helping your customer going digital. So how MyRx can benefit your doctors or the doctors as a whole, in fact. So there are different phases. These are 4 phases actually, wherein doctors start using the application and is disrupting his practices. So there are these 4 stages wherein the awareness, education, and trainings are required. So first phase is awareness, education, and training. So these all things like data and the contents can be created, can be provided. We can have campaigns which continuously provide contents about the new products, new technologies, new evolutions of the ecosystem. And these all things will be on the awareness and the education part. The second thing is like the product and solutions and any kind of experimentations. In fact, if something new want to be done by the doctors, so these things can be used in the second part, which generally happen like at least 3 to 4 months after the awareness and the training part. Then the strategies and implementation and alignment to a goal. In fact, so once the product, services, and other manual activities are done by the systems, the doctors will be creating the strategies and the implementations and the alignment, in fact, towards a broader goal. And once the strategies, implementation, alignment phase is over, then it comes the disruption phase. And MyRx can, like MyRx PharmaState, we can help you out in designing your campaigns, and along with that, we can help you out with different small products which are actually a fitment for the industry. And we all do it as a white label solution for the doctors. So that is something like doctor will have their own applications without MyRx being in the picture. So in the 4 stages also, we can help you out. The different products and services which pharma company need to think, to provide it to the doctors, or maybe, help the doctor adapting this. One is the training for the doctors, the branding and the branding solutions for the doctors, marketing solution for doctors, the content as a service for doctors, the EMR and practice management, e-prescriptions and more, and patient engagement automation. So as a whole, these are the 7 different aspects wherein there can be campaigns created by the pharma companies as a prior part of your brand plan in 2023-2024. So thank you very much. And this is what we wanted to make you understand about it. In case of any queries, you can reach out to our WhatsApp number. And Dr. Swati, over to you. I'm just stopping the sharing, and we can now have question answers.
Thank you, Saurav. Please do not stop sharing. I wanted to ask you a question on the
all right.
Last but one slide, the previous slide, after this. So you're talking about the training for doctors, where we are actually talking about the training on the digital ecosystem for doctors.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are talking about a digital ecosystem, how to adapt technologies, how to use the applications. So this type of training, how to optimize your social media profiles. So there are different type of trainings which can be imparted or which can be provided either in a recorded form, either in a live stations, either in a campaign, either in a conference form. So this type of trainings can be provided. The end intention is creating the awareness and educating the doctors, in fact, to adapt digital. So whatever I have talked, it is all about the digital part of the campaign.
Right. So whatever you have shown today, related, even these topics are not known to doctors. Okay, what is EMR? There will be pockets where doctors are actually using also. these
Yes,
certain
yes,
things in their
yes.
practices, but there will be a lot of doctors who do not know or who are not even understanding the urgency of the situation to digitalize records or to digitalize prescription and all. And for those trainings where we make them aware about the digital ecosystem being created, being backed by government and being created by various companies, those trainings we are talking about, right? And all these things are in the digital
Format. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Saurabh, for clarifying that and for presenting us various different digital technical words, which we were maybe knowing but not understanding, but you made us understand them today. Generally, pharma sales and marketing professionals have that problem that doctors not giving us time. If we also have a Me Too product or whatever product, we are talking about the product, and the scientific knowledge is one part of it when the pharma person goes and talks about the scientific. But more, what doctor would like to hear is solving his issues related to digital adoption or what new can be done in the digital ecosystem that is being created in India and abroad also.
Right. One more thing, Dr. Swati, actually, what is happening currently since last 3-4 years, there has been a lot of startups actually coming up and they are creating some product for the doctors, and pharma is trying to distribute that through campaigns. So which is something like, you're picking up, choosing something from the entire array of the digital applications and you're trying to gift it to the doctors, or you're trying to put it up in front of the doctors, which is actually like creating something like, it is not end to end first thing, and it is actually not driving any engagement. And the last thing is like the doctor is not understanding the importance of that. So apart from all these things, a mindset is getting generated at this point of time in pharma that digital is not working. But this is not the case. You have to have a strategy. You have to understand like whatever solution that you are trying to provide, where it is actually fitting up in the ecosystems. You need to have that, like what all are you need to have a clear understanding of the demands of your doctors. And it is something like, suppose Dr. Swati, you are a doctor, I am a doctor, your demands and your wishes will be something different. My aspirations, my wishes will be something different. You might be using some different applications, I might be using some different applications. So irrespective of going ahead and providing applications to the doctors, which is actually not doable in purview of this UCPMP also, but the educations and proper awareness part, if it is created in the market, the penetration of all this type of application, the usability of these applications, and the benefit of using digital to the patients will be quite aggressive in the market. And being a pivot or a sitting in such a situation, pharma companies are really a big distributor actually for this type of services and this type of product to the doctors. And if you are adding value to their practice through digital, definitely the engagement between a company and the doctors will definitely increase.
Right. So if I may simplify, if a doctor is there and a pharma person goes to him and starts talking about his product and please prescribe thing that may not work in his favor, but if you catch your doctor's attention by asking, sir, are you adopting the digital practices, or what problems are you facing in your records?
Yes.
He may get a entry and quite talk about. If pharma person is aware about these things, he will be able to talk with confidence with doctors also and generate even the prescription that he wants to generate in the clinic. Okay.
Yes.
There are questions coming up. One question is from Mr. Syed Mohammad Faiz Pasha to us. Already some of the doctors started using LIMS for patients, lab diagnostic reports, and prescription digital save mode. These things have started. So is pharma companies need to engage with LIMS developers for digital promotion? Because multiple companies offering digital services of corporate hospitals. Question is bit hazy, but I think
can you unmute them so he can ask directly?
Yeah, let us start with the interaction itself because many questions will be there. Satish, can we invite participants to raise hands and ask their questions one-to-one?
Yeah. So I'm asking Mr. Said to unmute and ask the question directly. Other participants can raise their hand if they want to interact and have any question. are going to unmute as yeah. So Mr. Said, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Sayed from Bangalore. Just already some of the corporate hospitals, they are having the tie-up with some of the software developers, those who are offering the digital platform more, because they are offering the multiple application which are related to the lab systems and their billing system, which will connect it to the doctor prescription.
Yes.
So that they will have the total record of the patient from the diagnostic to the giving the prescription of the medicine. Now, suppose if pharma companies in this situation, if we are approaching to those doctors, because they are having the different application from the different companies.
Right.
Yes, because one hospital is using the one software, another hospital they are using the multiple. But now here in this scenario, suppose if you want to engage with these doctors in this system, now if they want to prescribe our product, each and every hospital they have to create the separate code, then they will be able to see our product and they can prescribe to the patients.
Okay. Got your point.
Yeah, now the major challenges is that now if any we have to tie up with the software developers in futures to make our products promotion, so that they can include the already into their software when they are installing into the hospital level.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to this point, in fact, so we are dealing with prescription management. MyRx is a prescription company. In fact, we deal with a lot of prescriptions day by day. And apart from MyRx, there are other prescription management, hospital management applications nowadays. Like gone are those days when the data, like, getting those data of the medicines was difficult, in fact. We have listed more than 350,000 products in our platform already. Either it is a new startup pharma companies in a marketing domain and having some medicines, or else established company, established product. We used to update the database on a day-to-day basis, like on a daily basis, in fact. And if any product is adding up, we are keeping on adding those systems. And this is happening with all software vendors, because this is the first question of the doctors to a software practitioner. Like, if we are going to sell our software to doctors, the doctors are so smart at this point of time that they say that, what about the new products coming into the market, whether you are adding it up or not? So we software companies doesn't have any options as of now, rather than going ahead to the market and collecting the data for new medicines. So, Mr. Sayed, this data will be readily available with the system. Now, there are some applications which provide quick suggestions for the medicines. In fact, that is a separate technology altogether, wherein, like, you can promote and you can ask the HIMS applications or the software vendor to list your product on the quick listings, in fact, irrespective of the master data. So in that case, you can at least see like which application has the majority prescription generating ability. You can go to them, you can choose at least a few of them, wherein majority of the customers are like using that applications, and you can ask to list your product on priority with them. Second important thing, considering the 4.2% adoptions, only 0.84% is the prescription writing habit in India at this point of time. So when you're talking, not even 1% digital records, or not even 1% prescriptions are getting generated. And this comprises of a lot of teleconsultations also. So whatever teleconsultation are happening, mandatorily they have to generate digital prescriptions. So just see, imagine a situation from now to at least 80 or 90%, we are at least having 90% of the margin, the majority of the market, in fact. So this is the time, 2022-23, wherein the 5G is already in place, different applications are coming in place, and behavior or the writing practices are also changing with the HCPs. So you will be seeing a lot of other companies coming up into the market. So you can at least go ahead, collaborate with them on an early basis. So don't wait till like they become the market leader, but at least at this point of time, try to collaborate with them, have the relationship, and then try to take the benefits out of it. Mr. Sayed, is your answer did I answer your query?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's a question where, see, sort of the data shows that the adoption of electric EMR and those is very, very less in India. But still, the questions and talk revolve around many are offering many things, and that is leading to chaos in digital and
Absolutely.
irritating doctors, right?
Absolutely.
Right, many digital solutions, someone has commented that I'm reading out, many digital solutions are available and it's confusing and bringing chaos. Doctors are getting irritated that one more has come.
Come up.
So right, but just see from where this comment is coming and what the data shows. Our doctors are not even aware. If I see the data that you have presented, that EMR, they do not know, they do not adopt. Prescription, even not even 1% have been touched upon. So see, we are all reaching to the same doctors, number one. There is a big market out there where we are not reaching. We are trying to focus only to the same doctor time and again. Every third company is going to the same doctor and talking about digital solution. It's the right time when companies strategize their own strategy, digital strategy, thinking with the right solutions. Means you have to see a lot of solutions in the market. No doubt, n number of platforms have come, n number of propositions have come, and it is just the start of n number of propositions. It will increase now, the way healthcare
N to the power 3.
Yes, and a lot of confusion.
Yes.
But the work of a brand manager or work of the pharma marketer would be how they plan their strategy out of that chaos and take out the right solutions along with them in the digital space also.
Dr. Swati, I would like to add over here, like if n number of companies are coming, n number of services are coming, in fact, and there are a lot of companies coming up, a lot of companies going away. So if it is creating a confusion, if it is creating a challenge for the doctors, I am seeing it as an opportunity for the pharma. In fact, with every challenge comes an opportunity. So if being a pharma company, if you are trying to evaluate at least a few number of applications which are already there in the market, and you go ahead with maybe a report or maybe something like a awareness kind of program, because everybody is in this market, they're seeing that, okay, digital is something wherein we can make quick money. So startup companies which are coming up nowadays also, their mindset is something like, we will not be understanding the application or the ecosystems or anything, but we will be having a e-prescription, a telemedicine, and we'll be earning in crores and millions and from day one. So that is the reason every company is trying to sell. And nowadays, with digital, with social media penetration, it is very easy for digital, software companies like MyRx to go ahead and reach to the doctor without, in fact, thinking that whether we are irritating the doctors or not. And after that, there is a definitely overload of misinformations which are going to the doctors, and every application claims to be they are the best. I have been seeing this market from 2014 when we started MyRx. We have never, ever been aggressive to the market and trying to push the products. And, we are not into a push sell market. Since last 6 to 7 years, Dr. Swati, I will just share an experience. We have at least reached to 10,000 doctors, and out of which 4,000 doctors are at least practicing on a daily basis. So we are not looking for the millions and the lakhs of doctors. In fact, whoever doctors we are trying to do, we are trying to provide them with honest offerings, and we are not trying to confuse them. But definitely, post-COVID, when many of the industry, during the COVID, in fact, when many of the industries were shattering, the clear-cut winner was the health, in fact. And people and the companies with a lot of money, they were trying to put up into the health services without even knowing the nitty-gritties of the health industries. And that is the reason why there was a cyclone of software companies coming up with teleconsultation and the repetitive Me Too products and going to the doctor and saying that we are the best in the market. But as a result, clear-cut result, within this couple of years, many companies have shut down and still many more companies are coming up. But at the end of the day, it all depends upon the practice of the doctors, which application he is liking, and there will be a consolidation. So the beauty of the startup is like different people coming up with a similar product, going ahead and targeting different territories, and then a single company merging all them into a single entity and providing them as a master. So this consolidation will also happen in the due course of time, maybe in 2025, 2026. We don't know when it will happen, but definitely a consolidation will happen. But being a pharma company, being a brand manager, if you are talking to a doctors, you can be the advocate of some brands which you feel they are genuine into the market.
Thank you, Saurabh. So
Uh,
everyone to his own strategy. As a platform, we will be presenting you with what all solutions are there in the market, discussing with you how you can create that awareness campaign, at least with your doctors, train them on this digital ecosystem part. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dr. Dr. Amit Bhargava, please, sir.
Yeah,
please
hi, good morning. And once again, thank you for a very nice session, very informative, very relevant. 2 points. First point, I would just like to take up from Syed's query. See, let us not confuse product availability with product promotion. What Syed is referring to, and having a system where it picks up your brand out of the top 10 brands or whatever. See, that is just like being in Sims and Mims books.
Absolutely.
Why will a doctor pick up your brand even out of the top 10? That is what product promotion will do. These softwares are not going to be a substitute for product promotion. These solutions or products or whatever you call them are only about making the product available in the system, period. So product promotion is something different, as you all will know. Now, coming to another issue, see, digital services is one thing, and it's a separate industry unto itself. Okay. Just like a lot of things that pharma was using to influence the doctors. Now, the whole concept of UCPMP is that the government and the authorities do not want the doctors to be influenced by any pharma company by providing any service. Be it
Right.
conference sponsorship, be it books, be it journals, be it subscriptions or whatever. They might be all legitimate, but ultimately it amounts to a bribe. So do not be surprised if eventually, maybe 1 year, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years down the line, a pharma company providing a digital service through another vendor and acting as a broker between that vendor and the doctor may also be banned. So we need to use these digital tools and digital services in a manner where we are safe from the UCPMP, even if it brings it under its purview. If
Right.
we have that mindset right from now, we will not get into trouble later on. Arey, ab kya kare? Just like, now we are struggling that
Yes.
arey, we can't sponsor this, we can't give this, we can't give that. So there are ways of doing it. I know it, we have done it in the past and we will continue doing it. But everybody needs to be conscious of the fact that don't think that, okay, now digital has come, now that is not UCPMP, that is not bribing. It will come under the purview because all these extensive services that Saurav has told us about, they are invaluable, they are inevitable. And then every doctor will not want to spend the amount of money required to set up that system in his clinic. Hospitals are a different thing. They have a lot of money, but individual doctors don't have that money.
Correct.
So then where are they going to get this? Because now it is mandatory. Once again, they will look to pharma, and pharma is ever ready to oblige the doctors. So once again, the UCPMP picture comes into play. So just be conscious of this. I mean, I'm not trying to sound negative, but I'm
No. This is actually a
everybody,
valuable point, Dr. Amit. In fact,
everybody, the pharma people, the Saurav's wonderful agency, and everybody else. That from right now only, just be conscious of it and do it in a manner where you will not suffer later. That's all.
absolutely. So, Dr. Amit, I completely agree to this point. In fact, I'm completely in agreement that if you are trying to again treat the software product as a CRM activities and you are going ahead with a premium product and gifting it to your doctor, this is not going to be the way out. In fact, I'm talking about small campaign to help the doctor, maybe in the patient education part, maybe in some applications. And what is happening at this point of time as a whole in the industry, what I'm trying to understand now, the healthcare spending and the advertisement spending of Facebook, Instagram, and the social media, they're keeping on rising with the number of vendors coming into the market. So when there are number of vendors and they know that for a single audience, there will be a lot of bids. So these all rates are rising. The server rates are rising. In fact, the domain registration rates are rising and the applications are getting costlier day by day. So what is happening is like, it is giving an impression, it is increasing the price of the services, in fact. So whenever you are going ahead with this type of services, I would not recommend that you go ahead and put up 20,000 rupees for the doctors and go ahead and give it to them, because this is exactly one form of bribing also. So if UCPMP is coming up and if we are welcoming this factor, what I'm trying to establish at this point of time, being pharma company, being in the purview of UCPMB, try to design your campaign in such a way that at least you are educating. Your end intention is not software selling. Your end intention is not software selling. The only outcome from the software selling is the prescriptions which are getting generated by your aware doctors. Your primary business is into the medicines part. The important part is like, when your doctors are struggling with misinformations, when your doctors are actually struggling with, price rise of the applications, you can be a player wherein, like, you can say that with software companies, we will be going ahead, like, just an idea. This is not hard and fast, but just an idea. Any software company will love to collaborate with a pharma company. If the product raises 20,000, they will be able to give it on 10,000. So it gives you a 10,000 rupees straight discount because the distribution is happening from pharma. So instead of saying that we gifting to you doctors this product, we are able to tie up with this company and they have bring down their prices, and this is the offer that we are bringing up. This can be one thing wherein you are not commercially involved with the company, with the software company, and you are not coming under the purview of the UCPMP and the budget of that 999 rupees. In fact, if you want to do 999 is a big amount. In fact, if you're trying to create some awareness, some educations, some emailers to the doctors, you can definitely create that, because the phase that we are currently in is like the awareness and the education phase.
Right.
You can play safe, in fact, and every pharma company should do that. Not blindly going to any applications, purchasing it, distributing it, and that is a bad criteria. That is actually what we have been trying to do, is like, we have been again trying to change the behavior of the prescription habits with some giftings. So software has become a gift. So we want to give it software as a service, not software as a gift.
Yeah. Thank you, Saurav. Thank you, Dr. Amit, for the input. And rightly pointed out, do not create that. We will not, promote that thing being a gift again. So we are there in the awareness part only as a help to the healthcare professionals, that what is actually happening. If they are getting confused, if we can help through our knowledge for them and create some clarity for them, that is the whole purpose of this session. The clarity. If they are talking EMR, we understand what EMR is. If they are talking EHR, we understand what EHR is. Or if they are talking prescription, digital prescription, we understand what a digital prescription is, and we can talk to the doctor on those points also. Mr. Chanda, please go ahead.
Yeah. So good afternoon, and good afternoon, Saurav. And so first, at the outset, in the first place, I would like to thank possibly for creating this kind of a virtual forum for branding solutions. That's so nice and great. I think more such forums and for discussions and sharing should happen, and a lot of unlearning and learning happens for many of us, irrespective of the number of years one is in pharma, biotech, or pharma, whatever it is. So I'll come to my question. So if you currently see the largest company, the largest pharma biotech company, the only difference is that you remove the word bio. The pharma company, I would say, or pharma biotech company is Google. Why I say Google, but for But for pharma products, pharmaceutical injectables or oral pills, they have everything to offer. Possibly the day they launch a pharma product, I think the doctors will levitate towards Google. That's what I understand. So my question is, in India, I'm speaking about specifically in India, do any Indian companies, I see Geo making a valiant attempt for creating a digital ecosystem. When I say digital ecosystem, I will be very specific. So why this digital? I'm not speaking about digitization. I'm speaking about digital ecosystem, which will support the patient's disease journey as well as a physician's understanding of the patient's disease journey and the possible solutions. So it all emanates from the basic needs called patient's disease journey. It's not merely the disease journey, the patient's disease journey, every part of the patient disease journey, irrespective of the disease or conditions. It need not be a disease. It could be a condition. Like pregnancy is a great, it's a joyful condition, what people love to have it in the family. So it could be a disease or a condition, a patient journey, what the physician look forwards, and the patient understanding, the physician's understanding of that patient disease journey. So because of these two aspects, having a better understanding will help in possibly solve issues at the patient disease journey level by the physician. I think this is what we are looking at for digitalization or a digital solution, and try to see whether our products can possibly fit in some of their journeys, etc. So my question is, apart from Geo, any pharma company, and including you, PharmaState, I'm not very sure about that because I'm relatively I'm not fully updated on that. So what kind of a digital solutions from the perspective of patient disease journey and the physician's understanding of the disease and is being offered currently by various companies, which will fill in the gap of unmet needs?
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Chandar, in fact, for putting up these questions. Yes, predominantly what we have been looking as an end user is like Google, and along with that, US companies are actually the major players in the market. But when it comes to the interventions for the conditions or disease or maybe certain conditions, in fact, certain ailments, in fact, when it comes to that, we have been seeing a lot of Indian companies doing really, really great. I will not be taking up this name at this point of time, but in diabetics, there are a lot of companies which have come up with a beautiful diabetic journey, living with diabetics, reversal of the diabetes part. In neuro also, there has been companies like, I have been seeing a lot of companies wherein they have been actually helping patients, overcome epilepsies, in fact, and then treating those things, treating those symptoms. I will be talking about one of my services, one of my products, which is already there in the market, which is Stroke SOS. We have created this actually for managing the stroke part. I'll just highlight this Stroke SOS once. We have created this with Indian Stroke Associations, and it was done in 2019, I suppose. In fact, we have actually the thrombolysis centers and the primary healthcare centers and the neurologists listed on the platform. And if somebody is having a stroke symptoms, they just have to search Google. We will be ranking on the top, or else they can have the mobile applications. They can just click on a single button, search doctor nearby or the search treatment nearby, and from that emergency care, if you select a hospital by kilometer, by reaching time, or the first 4.5 hours, the golden hours is very important. So the patient reaches early to the hospital, the chances of getting saved is more. So we understood that situations, and from a single click of button that is navigate to the hospital, we were creating a lot of things like intimation to the hospitals, intimation to the the emergency care, the doctors, the ambulance, and the real-time navigations of the patient coming into the hospital, and then getting the treatment. The code red was getting announced in the hospital's part. So this is one example, in fact, because this is mine, so I can say it in the open forum. But there are many beautiful companies which are actually targeting each and every elements, each and every segments. You just need to search about the elements and you will be getting the companies, Mr. Chandar. And as you rightly said, in the pregnancy part, pregnancy is a beautiful thing to have in the family. And pregnancy, the curiosity, specifically for the first time moms and the parents, first time parents, there's the curiosity, in fact. And the doctors want to engage in that parameter. So what we have created in MyRx, we have created a charter. In fact, the exact 9.5 months charter, in fact, stating about the day-to-day activities, day-to-day tips, and it is a customized tips and notification going to the patients that, okay, this is now ninth week, your baby or the fetus will be like this, some images, some videos, some health tips, some food tips. So these are the different things which a doctor can customize in the MyRx applications and send it to the patients, in fact. So this is the journey defining. And when you're saying brilliant minds were already there in India, it was always there, and many of the US companies, they have already hijacked our minds. Some of them are coming back. Don't worry, in coming days, India, unlike Geo has been doing a really great efforts. In fact, many other companies will be there to support the health outcomes, and we will be focusing on the patient health outcomes, either in the chronic or an acute segment or a conditions. We will be supporting them, and lot many of companies will be coming up with beautiful products. In fact, this is a wonderful space to watch. Mr. Chandar, hopefully I answered you.
Yeah, thanks for that update.
Yeah, if details required, we can have a one-on-one session, my one-on-one call, in fact, to understand like what all different applications are already available, which can suit you, your requirement. In fact, this can be done. You can get in touch with Dr. Swati, please.
Sure, sure.
Thank you, Saurav. Thank you, Mr. Chandar. So this is a very interesting space to watch, and that is why we are bringing these sessions time and again. Every Sunday from now, you will be seeing some different sort of topic being talked about, what can be done in the space that we have started talking today, the digital services for doctors or something where pharma can chip in. And this is very interesting. Day in and day out, we are seeing, new things coming up in this space. A lot of debate, what we need to do, what we ought to do, what we want to do. There's a debate here also going on. One pertinent question which comes up always is how these digital strategy will help a pharma company. Every company checks ROI before investing in any campaign. So the point again goes back to
so
ROI.
Time and again, we have been talking about the ROIs part, right? So yeah. There is a certain budget, in fact, whenever a pharma company is operating. So, in fact, if any kind of campaigns or any kind of things are there, I understand. I completely believe that ROI is going to be very vital. What I would like to suggest over here is like, if you are at least awareing the customers and you are at least getting some good time from the customers, and the customer is valuing your suggestions and the consultations, in fact, whatever you are trying to do it from the field level itself. First and foremost thing, you will be getting definitely good amount of time and engagement with the doctors, and the mechanism that you already have in place to calculate the time and ROI will fit into this. So as a digital vendor, however you are measuring, you can measure that, but we can ensure that, yes, by providing this type of services, the time and the awareness part and the engagement between your team as well as the doctor will be increased. Second important thing, suppose imagine of a traditional gifting, for an example. Now we are sitting on November end, so this is the time when pre-COVID, and some companies post-COVID also, they will be actually searching for vendor going ahead with the calendars and the diaries. Very common, very common, campaign wherein we provide a yearbook, a calendar, we print it, we send it through courier, we distribute it to the doctors, and every doctor will be having that. And your brand's logo will be pasted in either, if it is a 4-page or a 12-page calendar, there will be some logos put up over there. Why do we do that? It has a fantastic things to do in 90s and 2000. In fact, when the calendar was put up into the doctor's table, and at least every month you were having a brand recall, and that was driving the prescription behavior. And you're thinking, we all thought that as it is a brilliant idea to engage it. So nowadays, either the wall hanging calendars or the table calendars, these are not working anymore. In fact, doctors are not keeping up because either they are sitting on the mobile or the tablet, and they are already knowing that, okay, what is the time, what is the date, in fact. Now, coming to a scenario wherein like you have created a campaign and you have distributed that product, and you are not engaging on that product again and again. But in a digital medium, suppose for an example, I'm just giving you a digital calendar. Just for an example, I'm giving you a digital calendar, and the digital calendar is synced with the Google Calendar of the doctor. Just imagine the scenario. So Google Calendar is synced, and from that, I am creating a campaign that doctor, I will be providing you helping out with all the vital festivals, all the vital medical days, and a content calendar wherein every day looking into your calendar, you will be getting a particular alert saying that today is Sunday. You need to put up an Instagram post at 2 p.m. and you are getting a notifications. And when you click on that, meeting invite opens up, and in below over there, like you are having your brands and your maybe your microsite, your links over there. So this type of campaigns, if you are doing it, one time you gift it, you have provided it to your doctors, multiple times you are engaging with the doctors. So yes, when I'm talking about ROIs, there are some significant amount, calculations. We already have a sessions of calculating ROI on your digital spend in DTIPS. Please await for that session, because we have built up some charts, some tools, and so we already have a startup tools wherein your ROI is getting calculated. Actually, we also bother about your money which you are spending into the market. So definitely we have multiple criteria. We have already listed it. I would request you to just wait for that session, and we will sort it out for you. ROI is vital. We are again with you that ROI is important.
Right. Thank you, Saurav. And yes, another question has come. This solution, what is systems required for a doctor? Can they manage on mobile alone, or desktop is a must? Okay. The accessibility and the comfort. So whatever systems is required, can they be managed on mobile alone, or desktop is a must?
No. See, it depends upon application to application. If you're talking about our services are completely mobile friendly. So it is something like you can handle it from a mobile, from a tablet, from a laptop, from a desktop. So nowadays, the next generation companies, the tech companies that are the tech transformation which is happening, it is keeping in mind the multi devices and along with that the multimodal systems impact. So what exactly happens is like we never know, because taking an application is an affair, and along with that, if the doctor is not in a budget, he has to create something like purchase a laptop or purchase a desktop. It is an additional budget, and this is one barrier. This is actually a entry barrier for the doctor using an applications, and after that they will be having internet connections also. So lot many applications are coming in an offline mode. Apart from that, lot of applications are coming in an mobile friendly approach, so wherein a simple mobile application can help you go digital impact.
Thank you, Saurav. Again, I'll tell you, this session is just for the awareness purposes of pharma professionals who have joined us today. You want to be aware about what is actually happening in the digital space, in the space of software as a services for the doctors, and you should be aware throughout your journey with your customers, that what actually is happening with him. You are aware that he is getting bombarded with digital solution and all, and we actually want you to just have thought process set out, the mindset set out, that this is happening. Do not presume that this is not happening. This is happening with many doctors in urban areas for sure, but it is now penetrating to semi-urban, rural areas also. And just for awareness purposes, we have placed this session.
And one more thing, Swati, the distribution, how it is happening. Suppose, just for an example, I would like to bring it to your notice. In fact, we always have, our doctor classification, our master call list, MCL, in fact. And we categorize doctor as A category, A plus category, B category. And then suppose we are going ahead with premium distribution model, we generally go ahead with the topmost one. Like, this is the premium services, we will be going ahead and offering to somebody who is in the topmost. So what is happening, if he is in your top of the list, he will be in the top of the list for remaining 10 or 15 companies also. So this is a real-time challenge which we have faced actually. So if he is there in the 10, top 10 companies, top KOL, in fact, so all these companies coming up with the same similar services. Look down into your B categories or C categories, non-prescribing doctors, in fact, who can be your customer in coming days. Those doctors are actually in the list of other companies as non-prescriber also. Try to look at the 98% which is untouched rather than going ahead and entering into the 2% which is overcrowded. Yes, if you are having good KOLs, if they are writing your product, if they are actually opinion leaders, in fact, you are going ahead cracking them, that is well and good. But only thing is like just see the market which is left behind and don't overrun into the market which are over exhausted by informations, by applications, and with lot of advocacies, negative advocacies according to the product, like for the digital impact. Right, Dr. Swati?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay, so we are already beyond time. Anyone who wants to interact, we can take up one more interaction and then we will close the session for today. Anyone who wants to get in touch with us, kindly write your name, mail ID and mobile number in the chat box and we will be connecting with you. All right.
Okay, so what we can do is like, so, Dr. Swati, we can directly ask anybody, any brand manager, any companies, those who are interested into looking at demo for MyRx products, in fact, whichever we have been developing and whichever we have seen, you can just put a yes, your mobile number and mail ID in the chat box, direct message. Don't put it in open. I think that it will not be allowed. You can put it in the chat box and we will get back to you and we will schedule a demo for MyRx services and different products. And then you can choose like whether you can implement, you can incorporate, you can modify, and or else how you want to change it and how you want to drive it. Dr. Swati, Dr. Satish, can you please see that whether chat is open or not?
Yeah, it is open.
It's
Yeah,
open.
perfect.
And we have received response also. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us today for a mind-provoking session. What is going to happen in this space for doctors, for software companies, for pharmaceutical companies, and more players coming into this space. We all are here to keep a watch, and as a responsibility, we'll keep arranging these sessions where you can discuss, debate, and put in ideas for everyone to understand and create your brand plans. Thank you so much for attending today. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Saurav, for being with us and taking us through those technical jargons related to softwares and making it at least simple for us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Amit, for joining in. Thank you, everyone, for joining in and giving us your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Join us next week and in the coming week on Sundays for more sessions on the topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good day.
So we are ending the session now. Have a great day.